The best thing I've ever done, the most important thing I've ever done, was Milton. Everything. I don't even know how my life would have developed, you know.
Yeah.
And I've had a good life, and you know, I've done everything I wanted to do in my life, but the most important thing I've ever done, without a doubt, was the decision I made in 1977 to make Milton my son. And people say, well, he's not your biological son. No, I couldn't love anybody more than I love Milton. You know, he's my son, and he's added so much to my life, and he'll continue to add so much to my life, you know. The part of the story that people find the craziest was probably my age and the lifestyle that maybe I was living at the time. There probably wasn't anybody wilder in Tampa than I was. We took Milton to the wrestling matches. It was Rocky Johnson against superstar Billy Graham. 2-3 days later, who walks into the gym? Rocky Johnson. They had their little boy with them, little Dwayne. Back then he was a pebble, now he's a rock, and that's how the relationship was started.
Have you ever seen an arm like that in your life? Have you ever? I got a baby arm?
Yeah. Everybody who ever met Milton at the gym became like his best buddy. We started working out. He started with just the 15-pound bar. Within the first year, he was bench pressing 135 pounds. If Yankee Stadium was the house that Ruth built, then the Body Shop gym was the gym that Milt built. Milton's special cereal, quarter cup of walnuts, quarter cup of pumpkin seeds, cut up some dates. All this, the food's supposed to be good for the brain, so doing everything we can.
Yeah.
Good?
Let's go back to the beginning of the story, and it can be wherever you want to start the story. You know, wherever you think.
Okay.
Best.
I was just kind of wild back then, and I was actually Magic Mike before Mike. So had a club over in Clearwater they had opened up, and just living a good life. Meanwhile, there's a boy with Down syndrome for the last 7 years living on the other side of town, Milton, who was being neglected, somewhat abused, malnourished. So I'm having a good time, and Milt's dealing with his life. And so fast forward, I wound up meeting his sister, and we went on a date, and she told me about Milton. I took her to see the original Rocky movie, and the date apparently went well, so she asked me, would I like to go the following Saturday to go pick her brother up. It was his 15th birthday. And I said, sure, why not, you know? I was 23 years old, and we took him to Circus World. Milton had this way, when you meet Milton, you love Milton. He's had that effect on everybody he's ever met in his life. And, but when I had picked him up, backtracking a little bit, I had picked him up at the foster home, and when I say it was a dump, it was a dump. And no air conditioning, and this is in Tampa, sleeping on a mattress on the floor, and I knew, you know, spending the day with him, I would have to return him to that situation. So,
Was it a foster home?
He was in a foster home. The parents had died when they were all young, and they all kind of had to go their separate ways, and because they all were pretty young themselves. And I said, let me check into finding him a better situation. So I knew of the children's home in Tampa. So that Monday, 2 days later, I went by there, and I asked to speak with somebody, a counselor or somebody, And he told me I'd have to wait. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. Nobody was helping me. So I said, screw it. He'd come live with me. And I mean, I don't know. You know, sometimes things, I don't know why they happen, who tells you. I came from a very loving, giving family. My parents, my grandparents were wonderful people. Anytime, my dad always said, if you're in a position to help somebody and you're not gonna hurt yourself doing it, why not do it? I figured I owned my own business. I was renting a 4-bedroom house. I figured he'll come live with me. You know, he'll go to school during the day. The bus will drop him off at the gym, and we'll start working out, and I'll start feeding him. Back in those days, being that I worked at the hottest nightclub in town, I never paid for food. There was a Winn-Dixie almost right next door to the gym. The girl in the deli would give us fried chicken dinners with macaroni and whatever else for 25 cents. I'd give her free passes to come into the club.
But I do love seeing the pictures of Milton, and he looks incredible.
Yeah,
So,
Milton was, and the thing was, we could eat, back then, I stayed probably, I don't know, about 180 pounds. We could eat a half a gallon of ice cream a day. We would, for a time there, we were eating, come over the gym, we'd eat a half a gallon of Vanilla Breyers ice cream with the Edam's banana crunch cake. We just sit there and eat the whole thing, you know?
so you guys are working out hard.
Yeah, I worked out hard. I mean, I worked out real hard.
What are you training today, Bruce?
I bomb my legs.
What are you eating, Bruce?
My huevos. Either my eggs are over Dunkin' Donuts, either Krispy Kreme or glazed donuts.
We're gonna look around your gym. It'll be all right?
So try the new Three Musketeers soon, because the bar has always been big on chocolate.
What a setup you got here. Let's get it going, buddy.
The unusual thing was, until that May of 1977, at 23 years old, I had never met anybody who has Down syndrome. Whether it was maybe they were institutionalized to some degree back then, or whatever. I just had never met anybody. There was nobody in my schools. Most of the guys in my gym had never met anybody with Down syndrome before until they met Milton.
Hey, what's up? We're getting ready.
The people, the gym was like one big family, a dysfunctional family, but it was like a big family, you know. My gym had a reputation. We were a small hole-in-the-wall gym, but they knew about us all over the country. Milton was at the forefront. He was a trailblazer in the inclusion revolution. And then once Milton, started lifting weights, that's when I reached out to the special schools and said, send me some more. And then I reached out to Jesuit High School and I said to their community service program, hey, I need some help. And we started the Handicap Fitness Foundation. And we started having them, and then we started training them. And then a couple of years later, they started the weightlifting for Special Olympics. They never had it before. I mean, Milton thrived. Milton was kind of a superstar, you know?
You gonna play the music and dance a little bit?
Yeah.
I just felt like the coolest kid ever, because it's like, who else has this amazing like legend of a brother that's just sitting on the corner waiting for you to come home from school and walk me home. And then of course at the gym, like he was always there, and I was basically raised in the gym. I was, my diapers changed on sit-up boards, and practicing tennis from the age of 3 or 4 years old on the back wall of the building. And like being a part of that from the day I was born, like that's just, it's just in me and who I am to this day as, an almost 45-year-old woman. But it's just such an important like part of my life, and it's what I preach to the kids that I coach, and everyone that comes into my life is just I tried to inspire them in the way that my brother and my father have inspired me.
Jacqueline and Milton, they've been inseparable. Even like now, Jacqueline comes up here, it's about a 50 minute drive from Tampa, and she visits with us, usually 4 times a week.
Do you want to play air hockey? Ready? Go. Use your muscles. Hit it. Hit it. Ooh, hit it. Ooh, no way! How did that happen? So I'm the director of tennis at a prominent prep school in Tampa, Berkeley Prep, but I also volunteer and run, it's called Tennis for Fun, and it's part of the Special Olympics. So it's the tennis portion of Special Olympics, and we run clinics on Sundays. The athletes come out and they practice their skills. I want to push them, and I want them to excel, and I want them to be the best they can be on and off the court, right? Like it's not just about the sport. I want them to see that making an impact on the world and helping others, and how one action can really change somebody's life is just so, it's impactful, right? And I think some people don't realize how impactful it can be, but I see now like what one decision made by my dad at a young age, how that has just impacted my world and so many others that are fortunate enough to know and to be a part of Milton's life.
This Monday night, WrestleMania 5, one of the biggest matches ever. The world champion Sergeant Slaughter against this young man, Captain Ron Slinker. Can I see you for a minute, Ron Slinker? All right, you're a good man. So Ron, tell me, I know you got a big match coming up. I know you've been working hard. You've been training every day with Rocky Johnson and the all-pro defensive lineman down there at University of Miami, Dwayne Johnson, who we all know about and respect so well. So tell me, Ron, I know you're ready. I know you're getting ready. Sergeant Slaughter's a tough competitor. Do you think you can beat him?
Yeah.
Great. That's good words from you, Ron. One more question, please. Come in. I know. Captain Ron. Pose, Milton. Oh, look at that.
So I guess it was 1978. The Johnsons, they had been, Rocky had been wrestling in the territory, and they had come back, and they were going to be in Tampa for 3 or 4 months. So instead of taking a motel back then for 3 months, 4 months, I said, just come stay at our house, So Milton and Dwayne, they shared a bedroom. I gave Rocky and Atta my bedroom. I slept on the pull-out couch in the family room. Hey, the more the merrier, back then. But it was a lot of fun. And Rocky was always a character, and Milton and Dwayne, even though there was 10 years difference in age, they had like a bond. I still remember an instance when I wasn't there. I was not a part of the gym, but then I found out about it that one of the guys at the gym was saying, like, how can Bruce take care of this? And Rocky overheard him, and Rocky went to the guy and said, don't ever use that word again. He has a name. His name's Milton. And yeah, I get emotional just thinking about it. But Rocky always had Milton's back, you know, from day one, and there was a real unconditional love between the two of them. Also, somewhere in whether the beginning or at the end of the thing, would I be able to have like a picture of my parents and dedicate it? So when I decided that Milton can come live with me, I was living with my brother at the time, and I threw it at him, and he said, sure, why not, you know? And he had never met Milton. I had only met Milton one time. So I called my parents, and if you've been involved in sports, there's always like two kinds of coaches. There's the one coach who will yell at you and tell you you screw up and you suck. And then there's the other coach who's going to put his arm around you and go, Bruce, you did a great job. You're a star. Keep going, you know? So I talked to my parents, and my mom gets on the phone. She's one kind of coach. She goes, you can barely take care of yourself. How can you take care of a 15-year-old Down syndrome? And then my dad, the other coach, gets on the phone and goes, Bruce, you're smart. You accomplish anything you put your mind to. You're not going to take on anything and fail at it. So I support you. And you can always count on me. To my parents, Milton was a son. And they loved him just like their biological sons and daughter. And my paternal grandmother knew Milton well because she lived into her 90s, and everybody just loved Milton.
It is most treacherous of all for pedestrians right now. Sidewalks are glazed over most of the area. If you have a chance to hire someone or do it yourself, try to get that ice cleared.
Okay, so Freddie Solomon wanted us to come up, you know, to spend the week for the Super Bowl. And I'm like, this is 1981. And I'm like, Fred, you got to concentrate on the game. We're not coming up there. It's cold. We'll watch it on TV. You just have yourself a big game. That's all. And about 3 hours before the game, Freddie's calling the house. He's got to talk to Milton. Milt, how am I going to do? Am I going to score a touchdown? Am I going to score two? Yep, 88, two. And then it reminded me of Muhammad Ali and his trainer, Boudini Brown. And Freddie was Muhammad, and Milton was Boudini Brown. He was the yes man. But Freddie, it was like superstition, I guess, good luck, you know. Milton was like Forrest Gump, you know. And then, the 49ers won the Super Bowl, and then we had a big party for Freddie when he came back to town. But he was very influential in Milton's life, and Milton loved him very, very much.
Has Fred retired? Maybe, maybe not.
I see them all the time. I play with them all the time.
Fred, can you still do it?
You couldn't do it.
Oh, nice day. Just curly straight.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't run that option, huh?
It is? 10. 2. Get out.
Show us bicep, Milt. Come on, Milt. Give a kiss, Milt.
Milton was the most responsible person I knew. He could take care of the dogs. I got Jacqueline a horse. Well, I actually got it for myself. A pony for Hanukkah, 1984, I believe it was. And Milton took care of the pony, took care of the dogs, took care of the cat. And over the course of our lives, Milton and I, we've had 22 dogs, 2 cats, 2 pigeons, and a pony. And Milton was like the animal whisperer. But when Milton first came to me, he didn't know how to brush his teeth. He didn't know how to wipe his butt. But you showed him it once or twice. He learned so fast. Nobody gave him credit. for learning, you know, that he was as smart as he is, you know. Like I said, I used to leave town when my daughter was playing tournaments throughout the country, throughout the world. I'd leave for a week. And Milton knew how much to feed each dog, when to feed each dog, how much to feed the cat, how much to feed the horse. Even when I moved here 9.5 years ago, one of the dogs we rescued was not good with other dogs. So Milton slept out back. I had 4 300-square-foot suites. So Milton had his own man cave out there. So my dog Pinocchio, Milton spent every night with Pinocchio out there. And Pinocchio probably in a 24-hour day, probably had somebody with him at least 20 hours a day, either Milton or myself. And Milton would take him out at 6:30 in the morning, he'd poop, Milton would pick it up, throw it in the can, and be back into the house, you know, and ready to do whatever we have to do next. And to be honest, most people are not unable to handle responsibilities the way Milton was able to handle responsibilities.
Look at Milt's technique, Jacqueline. Milt's got that picking technique.
I'll tell you, he was the most responsible person. I knew I could trust Milton more than I could trust anybody else.
So where was that taken?
It was in Tampa when he was, I guess his mom was still alive. And then I'm gonna guess he probably was about maybe 4 years old there, maybe. Yeah.
Oh.
Milt, who's this baby?
Me.
That's you? Were you cute?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Who was the cutest baby? You? Milton Hulk?
I think you might have more photos than Dwayne.
So a year ago, during Hurricane Milton, the nerve of them to name a hurricane after Milton, Milton was unable to walk. All of a sudden, he was unable to walk. So I rushed him to Tampa General Hospital, and Jacqueline texted Atta Johnson and told the situation with Milton, and she said Dwayne would be reaching out to her. So Dwayne reached out to her 5-10 minutes later, and he said whatever Milton needs, Milton will get. And so we were able to come home with peace of mind, knowing that he was going to take care of everything, which I'll forever be grateful to him, his family, and we were very, very lucky that people love and care about Milton, and they want the best for Milton, and Milton will always will get the best. No matter how I have to pull it off, he will always have the best, because he always gave me his best, and he gave everybody else his best. He deserves the best.
Hey, Will, how are your dates? Got you some watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I've been blessed that I've had some really good healthcare aides, and I mean a couple of great healthcare aides, but you have to pay for that. Who saves? You know, nobody says, well, let me save $1 million or $500,000 for healthcare in the future.
You do it, you do it.
I mean, I would say like life has definitely been more challenging and different for the past year-ish, maybe a little more, when we got the diagnosis of Milton having Down syndrome-related dementia. But knowing my father and myself, I guess, like, we don't run from something that's hard, right? And I think that, you know, not everybody sees the day in, the day out, right? And it's much more my father, but, you know, we'll never do anything different. Like, there's not, you know, he deserves to be in his home, he deserves to be with his dogs, he deserves to be, you know, around the people that he, you know, loves him and in his environment. You know, there's days that are harder than others, and, you know, it really, it's hard for me to put in words, but like for me, it's like that, again, like just shows like the kind of man my father is, right? Like there's not many 73-year-old men now that are gonna, that really could do and take care of my brother in like the way that's needed. And it's not just having him sit there, it's everything throughout the day. And
yeah, who's stronger, you or Dewey?
Me?
Oh, you're stronger than The Rock? Okay, I believe that. Milton's nickname is Milton Hulk. You see, this was a mural that we had painted on his bedroom wall in Tampa. So when we left the house after whatever it is, 35 years or 38 years, I took a picture of it and I blew it into a poster. Milton's weightlifting belt. Milton Hulk. But when Milton would sign his name, he signed it Milton Hulk. Yeah. Okay, going back in my life, 48 years.
Would you change anything?
I wouldn't change a thing. And it was the best and the most important decision I ever made in my life. Was I thinking probably real clearly back when I was 23 years old? Who knows, But I knew I could do it, and I wouldn't change a thing. And like right now, for the last year, I leave my house like 45 minutes a week. I run out to go to the bank, and maybe while I'm there, I'll run into Publix, which is right next door, and I'm back home. But I want to be here. I have healthcare aides, but I'm also hands-on too. Milton is my heart. He's my heart, and I'll do whatever it takes for Milton to have the best care.
Now that life has brought us here, where I'm a grown adult and he's 63, and we've had our challenges in the past, year and a half or so, and there's nothing that I wouldn't do for the both of them, and I think that's like, for me, it's like part of my purpose. It's to be there, to support them in any way I need to comfort them, to they're both my heroes, and like, there's nothing I wouldn't do for them.
I'm so thankful that my daughter has the heart that she has too. And Milton brings that out in you. The end.
That's good.
Awesome. Let's go in here and see.
Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, then consider a donation so me and my dad can bring you 24 new videos this year. We need your help to keep publishing these stories. Please click the link in our description to ensure that they can continue to make a difference in the world. My dad and I are so happy that we get to do this, and it all started when we began the journey to make a movie about our friend Jay, who has Down syndrome. Along the way, we've met incredible people whose stories have inspired us, and that's when Stories Made with Love was born. 40 videos and 100 million views later, we need your help to keep it going. Thank you.